Hey, want a cookie? Oh, I know you just ate, so you're craving something a little sweet. Besides, one cookie isn't gonna kill you. How about half? Just a bite? Bite it. Bite it. Bite it.
Food noise isn't fair, but Mochi Health is. Your affordable GLP-1 source that puts you on a path to successful weight loss by quieting food noise.
Bite it.
Shh. Learn more at joinmochi.com. Mochi members have access to licensed physicians and nutritionists. Results may vary.
Oh my gosh, you guys know how I feel about Sasquatches. I feel very strongly about Sasquatches. I got booed in Seattle. I got literally booed in Seattle during the first Takeover Tour game because I was like, how are you guys feeling about the Seattle Sasquatches? And all the Seattle fans were like, we hate that. Don't ever bring it up again. I love Sasquatches. I come from a Sasquatch family. My dad in his garage has in his garage he has this metal sign with a Sasquatch. This is believe under it. And obviously I'm from the country. Everyone needs one.
Welcome to Sass and Slapshots, a podcast for women who love hockey by women who love hockey. We're here to give listeners weekly news, game analysis, and cultural hockey conversations from the perspective of two women who found hockey later in life. There's no shame in our game, from veteran fans to rookies just discovering hockey. Everyone is welcome to learn more and encouraged to become obsessed with the best sport on the planet. Let's dive like Ben into today's episode.
Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Thank you for tuning in to Sass and Slapshots, your podcast for all things hockey, NHL, PWHL, really terrible public relations in the leagues. So it's been a hell of a couple of weeks in the hockey world.
It really has.
And we took off for the Olympic break, and then things occurred in locker rooms, and we were like, you know what? We really don't feel like talking about any of this shit anymore. And we took another week off.
Yeah, it went from really, really high, getting up at 4 a.m. and watching hockey, women's and men's, and just such a high to such a low so quick. It was
boom.
Whiplash. Yeah, it was insane because it went from, oh, I can't wait to talk about hockey to I don't want to talk about hockey at all.
Mm-hmm.
In a matter of a day, 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it was insane.
Yeah. And we are not going to spend that much time on this because Sarah wrote an incredible article, which I will link in the show notes. And her article pretty much captured everything that I have been feeling as well. And, by now everybody has seen it, knows about it, has read think pieces, it's been done.
Yeah.
But we are going to focus on moving forward. And what that looks like is continuing to be voices of change and power in these leagues. And if you want more information, you can read that article. But for now, we're going to call out our favorite Sasquatch, which is when our paid supporters are called Sasquatches. And you can be a paid supporter and get shouted out on the podcast if you subscribe to our Substack. It's $5 a month. And you get a warm fuzzy knowing that you're helping us create this podcast because we do this in our spare time for free. So thank you so much. Bookwormish me. First of all, love your username. Sarah and I are bookworms.
Yes.
So we really appreciate you putting your hard-earned money into what we do. So again, if you want to support us, you can click the link in the show notes and become a paid Sasquatch.
Woohoo.
All right, so now we're going to go into the NHL's top 10 injured players, which unfortunately include two of our Colorado Avalanche players, which I'm very sad about.
Can I just cry now? Lecky is one of my favorite. You know this. I'm a huge Lecky fan. I love how pesky he is. I love how much he just sits there and does the down dirty goals. I just love Lecky. And for him to be out and they were immediately week to week, I was like, no.
Yeah.
My heart just broke. Now, when I say top 10, I'm not saying hey, these are the biggest injuries. I'm just saying these are the ones that stuck out to me. Right. Ryan O'Reilly got hurt, and he was one that I wanted Avalanche to trade for. So I think he got a stick
to the face or a puck to the face. Something happened with his face and he's out. JT Miller, Arturi Lehkonen, Zach Werenski, Rope Hintz, Mikko Rantanen, which we knew got injured at the Olympics.
Wait, you got to say it right. Mikko Rantanen.
Mikko. That video of Gabe. Mikko Rantanen. That will forever be one of my favorite videos of Gabriel Landeskog, like going just full on singing in the locker room. Mikko's name.
So much.
It just cracked me up. And so now anytime I think about Mikko Rantanen, it's Mikko Rantanen. That's going to be a good little clip.
I can't wait.
Sidney Crosby, Josh Morrissey,
What happened to
Kiwi
Sid?
Ranta. He got injured at the Olympics. So,
wow.
yeah,
I've
that
been
big
living
hit
under a rock.
he got hit by Gudis, right? I think it was Gudis. Radko Gudis. Big hit, went down. Weren't sure if he was coming back for the last game. Ended up not coming back for the last game.
I do remember this.
Yeah,
Never
and then
mind.
he came back from the Olympics, and he was like, "No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not chancing anything. Sit me out for a while so I can be back for playoffs, I guess."
Fair.
I don't even know if they're in the running for playoffs right now. I need to check that. I've been really bad about it since the whole debacle, checking into
We're getting back
stats
into
and yeah, rankings and all that. I'll get back to it, I promise. Kiwi Ranta, Michael Granlund. So, some names that stuck out to me. No, I'm not even gonna say it. Dallas is suffering a little bit, but then they're winning without these guys. So
Which is terrifying.
it's pretty terrifying. But I mean, they've played, I want to say they played the Blues 3 times in the past, like 2 weeks
My
since the
gosh.
Olympics. They've played like the Blues 3 times or something.
Hmm.
So, you're bound to win against a team you're playing 3 different times.
Right, when you can read
you
them.
know. So yeah.
All right.
That's some injuries in the league right now. There's a ton of them, so I know I missed a bunch, but we can't sit and talk about everybody's injuries for
That would be a whole
hours and
podcast.
hours. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think there's always like usually right up until break. Like you hit break and there's like 60 plus injuries and it kind of just stays there for the rest of the season.
And people are sitting and
and preparing
for playoffs push and
right. And we were actually my parents are coming to visit me. Hopefully you get to meet them in April. And we were talking about maybe taking them to an Avs game. And Joe was like, actually, this is probably like the worst time to take them because they're going to sit all their top guys. Like you get to the very end of the regular season and like it's kind of like the beginning of the season in a way.
Now, I think there's going to be a little difference for the Avs this year just because they're going to want that top spot so that it's a Dallas-Minnesota game in the first round. So that they only have to play one of them.
Right.
I think they're going to want that top spot. So I don't know that we'll sit back as much as we normally do.
Not if the standings are continue to be so close. Like people are catching up to us in the standings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Scary. I think we have like a 5-point lead over Dallas right now.
That sounds correct.
All right. What is our Hockey 101 of the week, Sarah?
Hockey 101 this week is offside.
We had a little debate off screen.
Offside.
Anyway, continue.
So an offside call is when both of the players' skates cross the blue line into the zone before the puck fully crosses the blue line. So there's that nice little blue line. A player can straddle the blue line and have one skate over, but he cannot have 2 skates fully over before the puck is fully over that blue line. So I know that sounds really confusing. If you go watch videos on it, it explains it a whole lot easier than like hearing it. But it's really a play, like a strategic thing for me is watching these guys like stay just a heel on the blue line and that puck coming through. It's a very strategic thing.
Is puck in zone first before player.
Yes. But, one skate can be over beforehand. And that's why when you always see the replays and you always see the coach's challenge, because if they are over by just a smidge, they'll call offside and a goal can be overturned. It's a big thing. So the puck has to be fully across the blue line before the player.
There you go.
That's kind of an easy way to say it. Yeah. It's once you think about it that way, it kind of makes it easier to see. Especially, I like watching the replays because I'm like, how much of that skate is.
I know. And then you call it
before
like,
the puck.
oh my God, when it's against, it's like, it was a centimeter. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Wasn't
Great.
there one at the Olympics that was like super, super close and they called it not offsides? I think it was because it was Celebrini. I really want to say, again, it's been a week. So, and I've kind of blocked out the Olympics because of all that jazz. But I want to say it was Celebrini and it was a good goal because his skate, I mean, I'm telling you guys, it was
right there. Yeah.
But his second skate was still on the blue line when the puck fully crossed the line. So it was not called offsides and we got a goal, I think. So it can be a determination in a goal or not.
Yeah. All right, Sarah, take it away with the top 5 in the NHL right now and their percentage for winning Lord Stanley.
Lord Stanley. Okay. The top 5 in the NHL right now, sitting still at the top for quite a while now, the Colorado Avalanche. With an 11.6% chance of winning the Stanley Cup as of right now. Second coming in is Tampa Bay Lightning with a 12.1% chance of winning the Stanley Cup. And then come the Carolina Hurricanes with a 13.1% chance. So even though the Colorado Avalanche sit at the top, we still have several other teams that are creeping their way towards a better percentage chance of winning Lord Stanley. Coming in fourth is the Wild with a 5.5. Oh, they've dropped 5.5% chance of winning the Cup. And then the Dallas Stars with a 12% chance. So some of the same names sitting there at the top 5 that have been sitting there. Kind of switching back and forth a little bit on there in the bottom, but I said the bottom of the top 5.
Right.
I don't want to say the bottom, but the bottom of the top 5. So top 3 and in the running for the Walter Cup. My personal favorite as of right now, the Victoire sit at the top.
We love Pooh. We love Stacy. We love Rock.
Pooh.
I love them so much.
Yes. And I saw the video yesterday where they did the customized Funko Pop for Pooh and Stacy. It was together and I about died. I was like, I need this. And he's like, it's custom, Sarah. And I was like, I don't care. I need one.
So custom order it, Neil.
Right. I was like, I need a Pooh Stacy Funko Pop. So then sitting at second is the Minnesota Frost. And then coming in third, the Boston Fleet. So
this has been
the top 3.
So the last 2 weeks has been god awful. But a silver lining of all this controversy and bullshit has been the freaking uptick in the PWHL. Sold out games, social media explosion, support monetarily, just viewership, and so many people getting into women's hockey. It makes my little heart flutter. And same with you. I am so excited about the Victoire, but it's just that the top 3 in this league are so good. And it's going to be so much fun watching them battle it out for the Walter Cup this year. The Boston Fleet has been dominant the entire season. I mean, they have not even arguably, the best goalie in the world with Aaron Frankel. And I mean, I think that's a huge reason that they have been so dominant. But the Victoire are they're coming in hot. They're in a 6-win streak, aren't they?
It's close to that. I would say
5 or 6.
They've been on a tear, and she's called Captain Clutch for a reason. There's a reason she's called that, and MPP is just the MVP. I just
MVP,
love it.
you know me.
Yeah.
They're just, the PWHL is crazy.
Tough team too. Like
with Kendall,
it's gonna be a fun race to the Walter. It's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to the draft because there's so many players that I got to watch at the Olympics that are gonna be in the draft. And
Abby Murphy,
I'm
Layla
excited.
Edwards is coming, and with the lower teams, like, they have such a great shot of getting either one of them. So that's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's exciting.
The Charge and the Scepters are, I think at this point in the season, they might purposefully tank just to get pick up.
To try and pick up.
They're a rebuild. And then we have the expansion, which is going to throw the draft into chaos like it did last year. So there's just a lot to watch. Anybody who says women's sports isn't fun, isn't exciting, isn't physical enough, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
That game last night with Montreal versus the Scepters, like overtime, shootout, like it was just so exciting. And that leads us to me introducing our guest today, Julia Tocheri. I have wanted this interview since before we started this podcast.
I say you've talked about it since we met and we started talking about the podcast. You're like, we have to have Jocks and Jills.
Jocks and Jills. Julia and Tessa are two of my idols. They really have paved the way for people like me and Sarah, and they have kind of set up a perfect little path as to what I want this to look like, you know, when we get bigger, when we have more guests, etc. So Julia is just, I'm gonna like fangirl a little bit, probably. And I'm gonna try to like keep my shit together. But she is just an incredible person. She does really important work. She has the Jocks and Jills podcast, which covers the PWHL. It's the official podcast of the PWHL. And I'm truly honored that she is gracing our podcast and she sees value in this. So I'm going to introduce her. Julia Tocheri's career launched after university when she joined TSN's BarDown team, where she created digital content, hosted live events, and provided coverage of the CHL and Memorial Cup for TSN. She also covered PWHL and international women's hockey for TSN. Tocheri quickly established herself in Canadian sports media, notably as the co-host of Leafs Lunch on TSN 1050 from 2021 to 2023. Making her one of the few women in Canada to anchor a position in all sports radio. Raised in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Julia is known for bringing fresh insights and a lifetime immersed in hockey culture to her coverage. Julia, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for coming on to our podcast, Julia. I've listened to you since the PWHL was a thing. And so having you on is just kind of just really surreal moment.
Thank you. I
True.
appreciate that. You guys having me on, you guys having this podcast, Sass and Slapshots. Like I love a good alliteration. So I'm really excited to talk to you all.
And we call our paid supporters Sasquatches. So,
oh my gosh, you guys know how I feel about Sasquatches. I feel very strongly about Sasquatches. I got booed in Seattle. I got literally booed in Seattle during the first Takeover Tour game because I was like, how are you guys feeling about the Seattle Sasquatches? And all the Seattle fans were like, we hate that. Don't ever bring it up again. I was
do
like,
not speak.
Love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Love Sasquatches. I come from a like Sasquatch family.
Come from a Sasquatch family will be the quote.
Has like in his garage, he has like this metal sign with a Sasquatch, and this is "Believe" under it. And obviously, I'm from the country. Everyone needs one.
I think that is superior to any name.
Totally.
Also, Julia, this is Jay. Jay is our PWHL contributor on Sass and Slapshots. So we wanted her to be here as well.
Yay. Amazing. Hey, Jay. Hey.
Our first question is probably one you get often. Do you find being an independent journalist allows you to cover and discuss topics that would otherwise be stifled in the credential sports journalism arena? Because we asked this question because when we started, my goal was to be credentialed. I wanted to be in the locker room, in the arena, behind the scenes, all that jazz. And then I started getting familiar with what that actually entails and how that would censor what we want to do at Sass and Slapshots. And I was like, maybe I don't want to do this. So what do you feel? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I guess like the thing to start with is that we're not totally independent because we are like owned by the PWHL.
Mm-hmm.
So Tess and I have always tried to be super clear about that. And even before, even when we were just like out there recording podcasts in the midst of the night, like while Tessa was doing Sports Center and I was working during the day, we both worked at TSN at the time. So like, not that we weren't fully independent, but like we were working at a major national news outlet at the time. What I will say is, and honestly, I pondered this when I read this question and you sent it over beforehand, is that I started my career independently and I was able to be like really loud on social media and really loud personally. And there's like so much value to that because it brings so much attention to issues that need attention, and independent journalism, especially around women's sports and sports in general, is so important because of that. Like you need people being loud about on social media about issues. You need attention drawn to those issues. And I struggle with like not being as loud anymore. not because I can't, but because honestly, I've gotten to a point in my career that I've been invited into rooms where like the decisions that get yelled about online, like those decisions happen. And I've found that my impact is bigger if I can go into those rooms and have those conversations with people as opposed to being loud online. But I know that there's a lot of value in being loud online. So when I was totally independent, I was able to say a little bit more. But now, yeah, I find there's a little bit more value in the position I'm in, at least, to be able like, okay, that was wrong. I see a lot of people mad about it on the internet. I'm personally mad about it. Let's like talk to somebody who's in charge to have a conversation about how to fix this. So that's kind of where I feel like my impact is more felt now. Do I feel like we're stifled? No, not at all. Like Tessa and I like never have to send our line up to anyone. Like honestly, we've never really gotten any negative feedback about anything that we've said on the podcast from anyone from the PWHL. But I guess like it's completely fair. People are like, oh, Tessa and Julia work for the PWHL now. So they're like kind of like a mouthpiece for the league. I wouldn't say that by any means, but like we do try to keep it light. We do try to keep it positive. We do try to keep it like friendly for newer fans of the game who are just discovering hockey. So I think that maybe limits the depths of which we could go into things sometimes. Also think it broadens our audience a bit. But then to your point, shows like this are so important when you could really dig into those conversations. And yeah, I'm happy to be part of that today.
I think that's a really great explanation of the two sides. Like, I think each side is important.
They need one another. Like, they need one
right,
another,
right.
I think. Like, they're both vital components of, like, making sure leagues are being held to a standard and media is being held to standards and everybody is, doing their best. And again, I don't want to say held to a standard for a third time, but that's what comes to mind.
Yeah. No. And just for the record, like, there have been some issues that you and Tessa have talked about that have kind of not skated the line, have been a little more in depth, and you've had to word things a certain way, but they have hit home for me in a positive way. And I think you navigate those conversations with ease and professionalism. I've never felt like the PWHL is definitely telling them to do this.
Okay. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Ease is like definitely not nothing is like very easy to me. Usually I'm like this. I'm like, okay, I hope this goes well. But I hope it's obvious to everyone where Tessa and I stand. Like, Tessa and I are inclusive to everyone. We think hockey is for everyone. And we hope it's really clear in the way that
you both embody that.
Put ourselves out there. Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So along the interview lines, what has been your favorite interview throughout the leagues? Like, I know you've done many, many interviews. What's been your favorite one?
You know what? Okay, so Pooh came to mind right away just because, like, we just did it. And she told so many good stories. Marie-Philippe Poulet is just such an icon to me. I'm so lucky to have covered her throughout my career. Like, she's such a cool person. They say, like, never meet your heroes. And a lot of the times that's kind of true. But Marie-Philippe Poulet is not that. You meet her and it's like, oh my God, she's even better than what I thought she was. I love it. Yes. Yeah. She's so cool. She's so laid back. She really takes an interest in everyone around her. Like, she's extremely cool.
That's so great to hear.
Yeah. We just did one with Billie Jean King, too. What? Billie Jean King on Jocks and Jills? Like, what world is this? And I'm like, dude, we made this up and now Billie Jean King's on our podcast. That's how we feel about you being here. It's like, this was just an idea 6 months ago and now we're talking to you. It's like, that's so cool. You guys get it. And one like maybe deeper cut is with Catherine Dubois last year. Kath is so cool. Like, people know the first liners in the PWHL, they know the Olympians, but someone like Kath Dubois, who over the summers like wakes up and works at her dad's construction company and lays bricks and gets in the gym at 3-4 in the morning before she rocks those shifts. Like, those stories are so inspiring to me too. And she also told us about some reproductive health issues that she'd had, and she was just like completely ignored at the doctor's office, and it brought light to some important issues that way. So, and she's also hilarious. Like, she told us about this COVID haircut she gave herself where she shaved her own head. And that interview had a lot of range, but well worth listening to if you guys haven't.
Among us hasn't.
Right.
It's a good one.
We've all been there. But I was telling V earlier, I saw the video yesterday of Marie-Philippe Poulin getting the Funko Pop, the commissioned Funko Pop of her and Stacey. And I was like, I need one of those.
Right?
Like, I need one of those in my life.
I know. I need one of those, and I need one of the posters. Do you guys remember that like couples shoot that they did where they're both wearing hockey pants and their legs are like intertwined together?
Yes.
That is the best photo of all time. I need it in my background. I've been saying that for like 2 years, but I gotta get my paws on that puppy because like my favorite photo ever.
Yeah, I definitely need it like right there.
And honestly, like when we had her on, I meant to ask her to break down, like, how did they get you into this position? I need to know more about the photo. I need to know everything about it. It's like my favorite thing, especially just knowing Marie-Philippe and Laura and both of their personalities. They both would have been like, what is going on? I don't even know. That's why I need to know. Like, I just need to know how they got them to do that.
That's amazing.
Incredible. I love it. With the expansion of the PWHL, everybody in Denver is basically on the edge of their seats.
What are your thoughts on, expansion teams in the PWHL? Any guesses on which market might see a team this year?
Yeah. Okay. So I know I said I'm allowed in a lot of conversations, but I'm definitely not allowed in these conversations because we are yappers. Like, we are all-time yappers. So confidential stuff like this, like, don't really let Tess and I into. No. But Amy Shear was on the record saying, like, we could go up to 12 next year. I'm like, what? Add 4 more teams next year? It's insane. If I'm thinking about markets, like, it's so hard. There's so many I'm in love with. I'm in love with the East Coast of Canada. I think a team in Halifax would just do so well. I know it's a little bit hard with, like how much snow they get there. Where are you guys all based out of?
Denver.
I'm in Denver.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are all in Denver. Like, Denver gets some extreme weather as well, but oh my gosh, what they get on the East Coast is like crazy. Sometimes it's like you got to just shut the airport down for 3 days and like think about revisiting it next week. So that's the only part about out east that's like, it could get a little bit tough in the winter. But love that market. I also love Quebec City. I don't know if it were to be like 2 Canadian, 2 American teams. I love Quebec City as well, but I don't think they'd go 2 teams that east. So I think maybe I'm like talking myself through this as I'm telling you guys.
No, I think maybe I'm enjoying it.
I love it. And then I think we got to go a little bit more west as well. So like one of those Calgary or Edmonton. I'd be more partial to Calgary. I don't know why I have like personal beef with Edmonton. Every time I go there, I get my flight pulled. So I just like, or I was at that World Juniors where that got canceled as well. And I just have like personal, like Edmonton, like something bad happens to me every time I go to Edmonton. So I'm team Calgary in terms of Midwest, or very interested to see what happens in Winnipeg at the end of this month because I love Winnipeg. People talk a lot about smack about Winnipeg. I'm a proud advocator of Winnipeg, and it's only like 6 or 7 hours from Thunder Bay. So that would put us a little bit closer in the mix in the PWHL. In terms of American teams, Detroit always shows up and shows out. Like Detroit seems to want a team so bad, and the market there is so good. There's so many players that come out of there, like the Detroit thing. I love Denver as well. I was like building up all the anticipation to get to your guys' city, but oh my gosh, Denver could do it. I did not realize that the women's sports scene was so amazing in Denver until that first takeover tour game. I believe Denver was the first city to start the We Want a Team chants, and everyone since then has copied them. Yeah, it was you guys. Yes. So I will make sure that it was you guys specifically. I will make sure that everyone knows that. Like, it was Denver that started We Want a Team. And yeah, it'd be cool to see you guys get rewarded. What would be the arena there? I don't even know.
We were talking about that. We were thinking Magnus Arena. I don't know if they'd be able to do ball. Might, but I was thinking, V's even mentioned Magnus as well. So
is that the college rank?
Yeah. That's the DU rank. Kroenke Sports Entertainment owns ball, and they own all the teams at ball. So I think there would have to be an agreement between the PWHL and Kroenke. Or, I mean, I know one of the strategies that's been talked about is breaking off the PWHL from Walter and having individual owners like every other franchise.
Yeah.
So it would definitely have to be Magnus. I think that's the only place that has like quality ice for the players and a capacity that would be appropriate for an expansion team. But yeah, the Denver sports market is insane. I moved here in 2019, and since then, there's been the rugby league that's come here. There's a new soccer league that's come here. And hopefully the PWHL, I'm hoping, like it's just exploded, and you know, every takeover tour, even the last takeover tour this year in January, it was a snow day, and the Broncos played.
The Broncos are playing the playoffs.
Yeah, and they still did really well. So Denver's a spot. People. And I think it works like geographically to connect those Seattle and Vancouver teams that just seem like they're like on a little toenail off at the end of the world right now. That travels so crazy for those two teams. Yeah, it's going to be so wild. Like the next year in the PWH, like the next 6 to 7 months even to
Yeah.
See what happens in the playoffs. See what happens
Yeah.
with expansion. Are we going to do another expansion
Drafts.
draft? Like, it's going to
Like,
be
yeah.
crazy to see
It's
how
gonna
that
be
all shakes
chaos.
out. Yeah.
And I'm just
It is
like,
gonna be
here
chaos.
for it.
And
you
I'm
know,
here
like-
for
Here
it.
for I say I'm here
Yeah.
for it. Let's
And-
go.
Dude, so many people are here for it. I mean, the Hockey League has experienced an influx in viewership over the last year and especially over the last 2 weeks. So I was just wondering, what advice do you have for those that are new to hockey and want to know kind of how to jump in the sport? And kind of piggybacking off of this, you know, we're all chronically online people. And, you know, every other
Me too.
post, it's like, I don't know which PWHL teams choose and how do you pick your favorite players and what is offsides? So what is your, you know, take on that?
Have so many thoughts on this, and honestly, guys, like I grew up in a place where hockey, like I've been so lucky to get out of my little Thunder Bay bubble and realize like not everyone has been blessed with the gift of hockey. Like I feel like I'm spreading the good word around North America.
Have you heard about hockey?
So have you heard about the good news with hockey? Like you had women's hockey. It's yeah, like where I grew up, it was like just so part of the fabric of the community, and to see that become
Ingrained.
more widespread is really cool. And to see hockey like improve as a culture and improve as a sport and like become more diverse as a sport as a result of that has been really cool too. Advice to getting into hockey. Like I've been thinking about this recently as a result of that, because sometimes Tess and I have been talking and we actually catch ourselves sometimes on being like, hey, we have to be more inclusive with our context on Jocks and Jills, because sometimes we just throw around nicknames or we throw around terms and then we're like, oh my gosh, this is not a dressing room. We have to tell who we're talking about. So that's on us to be a little bit more inclusive with our language. My first piece of advice, I think, would be not to be intimidated by hockey, because there's so much like jargon that goes on. Not jargon, but like technical stuff that you don't have to worry about while you're still getting into the game. Like fans of hockey really don't ever need to know who F1 and F2 is and like what the structure of the PK and the PP is. Like really, hockey fans really need to know that. Like when I get into the weeds talking or thinking about that stuff too much, I'm like, all right, chill. We got like 70% new hockey fans. Let's dial it back here a little bit.
Well, and the more you watch, the more you're going to catch on to that stuff anyway.
100%. Like hockey, like, and again, like I'm kind of hesitant to even say this. I'm like, well, you've watched it since you like had eyeballs, but like you could watch the game and you could understand the flow. Like it's like you score on that net or you score on that net. And once you get into the intricacies of offside and icings and stuff like that, if you do something really bad, you get a penalty and the other team gets one more player on the ice.
Right.
Like, you know, the basics are pretty like you can have no context and turn on the game and you can kind of know what's going on. And I think you can have no context and turn on the game. And oftentimes you can pick out the best players too. Even if you don't know anything about hockey, like you could pick out Poulin, you could pick out Sarah Fillier, you could pick out Hillary Knight, you could pick out Kendall Coyne by the way she moves, even if you don't know anything about hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Second recommendation. We just did this thing at the PWHL in the last few weeks. Our marketing team has been working so hard at it. Have you guys seen the Professor Puck videos?
Yes.
I'm obsessed with Professor Puck. I low-key am Professor Puck, but don't tell anyone.
That's incredible.
I have never
Love
voice
it.
acted in my life before, but I have had so much fun with it. And guys, like I throw my whole body into it when I pretend to be Professor Puck. I have to stand.
She's her own character. So.
I don't even know. I was talking about this with someone today. I'm like, is she a her? Is she I don't even know what Professor Puck's gender identity is quite yet. Like, I'm not 100% sure. Professor Puck is just like an anomaly to me, but we've been posting these videos on the PWHL's YouTube page and across our social media with like kind of bare bones explainers about hockey. It's kind of reminiscent of the Peter Puck era on CBC back in the day, and he'd kind of give you the basics about hockey. This is sort of a similar thing, but for a new fun league, a new fun character. So I would recommend watching those videos. And what else would I recommend? I would recommend following all of the players on TikTok so you can fall in love with their personalities, because if you fall in love with their personalities, I don't know, like it just like makes the game more interesting. Like you're vested in certain players. So I would recommend that. I don't know about picking a favorite
And they
team.
do the best fit checks walking in.
Oh,
the best.
Seriously.
The best.
Best.
So much class, so much range. The fit checks are so good. They're so representative of how many different characters are in the PWHL because all the outfits are so different. Some of them are so masked. Some of them are so femme. Some of them are so like out there and colorful. Like you got your classic Aritzia girlies. Like there's everything. There's everything. And I love that.
Yeah.
Talking
Yes,
about Marie
yes.
Philippe Poulin, her fit checks.
What has happened with Marie-Philippe Poulin? Her and Hillary Knight, I haven't talked to either of them, but just in noticing the level up, I'm like, you both hired a stylist. We will have to talk to both of them
Right?
about it. But I'm like, yeah, I love you both. You didn't put that little number together. I know.
This is not just you.
I know, because like it's really hard. And like some of the stuff that Pooh is pulling out, or maybe it's just that like I've been in sports for like 9 or 10 years now. It's coming up on a decade, which is really crazy since I started doing my first internships
Congratulations.
and stuff. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I've interviewed Pooh for like the last 6 years or 7 years. And is it being able to be out and fully with her wife and like playing in this league? Like she just, or maybe it's just like getting into your 30s and becoming more comfortable with yourself or something to that effect. Like, but she has just come into herself so much in the last 3 or 4 years. And I feel like that's also reflected in her style. But I still think she has a stylist. Feels like she knows herself better, but also I think she hired a stylist. That's like my like.
Well, Hillary Knight on Fallon with like the sparkly
sparkles.
I was
she
like,
looked so good.
amazing.
She looked so good. It was like no one else was even there. It was crazy. Her sparkly outfit, her sparkly jeans lately. I died laughing at the fact that she proposed to her fiance on a grate. Like, that is the most straight male thing to ever do. I was like, hell, come on, girlfriend. I love you.
I laughed so hard.
But it's so good.
No one else in the world is having a greater time than Hillary Knight right now.
She has to be she is. I see her on my feed more than I see Taylor Swift lately. Like, she is so famous right now. She is absolutely everywhere right now, from Unrivaled, Fallon, Saturday Night Live. she's had the best quotes in the last couple weeks. She's another person who just has come into herself. I feel like for a long time she had to kind of be half of herself. I think she was kind of still figuring it out. It's so hard to figure yourself out in the spotlight, honestly, because you feel like everything you do is
scrutinized.
etched in stone, almost. I kind of have felt on a very much smaller scale, but I kind of started doing media when I was 19 or 22, and it's been like, oh my God, everything I do feels so finite. Like, it's like etched in stone as my personality forever. So see Hillary really come into her own in the last couple years too. And Pooh's a legend on the ice, obviously great character off the ice, but what Hillary Knight and Kendall Coyne-Schofield specifically did to get the PWHL to where it is and to be in those boardrooms, and Sarah Nurse was part of that as well, and Brianne Jenner, I think that's 5 players that I named that were involved in all those conversations. Like, they were really at the forefront of why we're here right now and why there is a professional league.
And that documentary, Rise.
How good, eh?
It's so good. So
it's
good.
unavailable in Canada. I know. I'm sorry if you're listening to this from Canada. I might have had a sneaky link to see it for free. But I'm
sorry.
that's
don't do crimes to view that.
Don't do crimes to see it.
Don't do crimes.
Don't tell me about it if you did. But if you do, oh my gosh, it's so good. I cried like 3 different times.
Yeah, it was, I knew the story, obviously, but putting it all together and seeing just how many people had to come together for a shared vision of what these players deserve. Like, I'm going to start crying. Ugh.
Oh, I know. And that's just like from the PWHL. Like, that's just from 2023 or whatever it was, 2022, 2023. Like, that's just from there. Kendall started the work in 2018. And going back before that, like, all the women who played in the NWHL or the PHF or the CWHL, like, they were also part of what happened here. Like, it's taken decades, and like, players miss their whole careers, like, fighting for this league that they now get to watch. I'm so glad that Hillary and Kendall and Poulin, like, that trio specifically, I am so happy they got to see this league and play it at Brianne Jenner too. Like, there's just so many players that got to mind, that come to mind, and there's so many players that also come to mind that just missed it by the tiniest bit, and it kind of breaks your heart. But even the players right now, like, they're playing for themselves, they're living this dream, but they're more so playing for the players in the future that are gonna, like,
all the little girls at the
even
takeover
more
tours.
developed league.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's
that was
a lot of
what was really
selflessness.
great about the takeover, the last game in Denver, was all the girl teams, hockey teams that were there. There was so many, and it was so great to see.
Yeah. I
Every
didn't see
single
women
stop.
play hockey until like 2010 at the Olympics. I don't remember seeing any women's hockey until the Olympic. I guess 2006 too, but I was like pretty little then, so I don't fully remember that one. My first like good developed memory is that 2010 Olympics, and it's crazy to me that girls. And I think it's impactful for little boys to see women's hockey in the same way. Like, I see little boys at Victoire games, at Scepters games, Charge games, Fleet games that like revere the girls the same way that they revere the guys. And
so important.
Honestly, that'll make a societal difference, like in the way that boys grow up viewing women as powerful, viewing them as athletes, viewing them as competitors. Like, we're going to see effects from that in society that go well beyond sports, I think.
So
I think
much
so
of an
too.
impact.
And I'm not going to get political, even though I really want to. But seeing Kendall Coyne Schofield talk about how she had to, and many players until now have had to keep full-time, part-time jobs to keep their health insurance, to pay for equipment, to be able to actually just play the sport, and being able to have a league that allows you to just be an athlete was it punched me in the face. And I was just like, God, everybody needs to be sat down and watch this, because women, professional athletes, Olympians, elite people, they have had to do everything that other players have had to do with less resources, less time, less money, less sponsorships. And I just think it just really kind of expands your perception of how great these women are. And that documentary was just 10 out of 10. Go watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. V, like it really did illustrate, like, Kendall's pretty much sacrificed her whole career to get to this point and help be a part of pushing a league forward and getting a league, like just starting something from the ground up. Like they weren't willing. And again, those leagues were amazing. They did so much for women's hockey. They kept players playing the game, but there's also something to be respected about women. And Kendall said it best. She's like, we were done accepting crumbs. It was professional hockey, but you're right. They would have still had to have jobs on the side. They would have still had to, not just on the side, have full-time jobs, most of them. So, and that's not completely gone, right? There's reserve players in the PWHL. There's players who still aren't on totally livable contracts yet. But again, the progress is amazing to see. And to my earlier point, like, this is, we're here. It's amazing. The arenas are full, but the girls, the players, like everyone around the league is well aware that there's still a lot of work to be done here, obviously.
And it will be done. And I, with the explosion of it this year, like, it's only going to go up from here, I think.
Yeah, you're so right. Honestly, they like Jaina. I'm the kind of person, like, I get frustrated all the time. I'm like, why isn't there this? Why isn't there this? Like, well, let's do this. Let's do this.
Totally not relatable.
I'm like that in my day-to-day life too. So it's like, God bless my fiance that is like has to live in the house with me, and I'm like, we should fix this. We should paint that. We should do that. And I do the same thing with work all the time in the league. Like, I'm always looking for something that can change and evolve. And like, why don't we have this? This could be better. Everyone is working so hard. Like, it's so cool to work at a place where everybody's pulling in the same direction and everyone really has the same goal of like making this league work and players and fans having the most incredible experience ever. And it's just, it's really cool to be a part of. I lost my train of thought there. I swear I had another point to make.
It's okay. No, I love that everybody is passionate about this league, and not only now in the moment where there's momentum, but like passionate about the sustainability of it.
Yeah. Okay, wait, I found my train of thought. Jaina Hefford had this great, like, I get frustrated all the time. Jaina's the same way. Everyone who works at the league is the same way. Like, everyone wants things to move so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And Billie Jean King, like, if she says it, it must be true. She said, history happens really slowly when you're living it, but it happens very quickly when you're looking back on it. Mm-hmm. And I think that we'll feel that way about this league eventually. Like, right now, it's like, but what about this? But what about this? But what about this? And then we look back and it's like, oh my gosh, we got a league from, not we, because I wasn't involved at this point, but it was a league from inception to drop the puck in 6 months. Like, everyone was like, where are the jerseys? Where are the names? It was like, they're on the ice, and the girls want to be on the ice.
Playing.
And that's
right.
as much as we can do for right now.
That's a feat in itself.
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
what we can when we can. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's been really cool to see the growth, and obviously a lot more to go. And sometimes it feels like it's happening slowly when I'm living it, but when you actually think about the grand scheme of things and like where the NHL started, for example, 100 years ago,
right,
when those players were working full-time jobs as well and working on the farm and in the summer and etc., like, we're beyond that. So we'll see where we go next.
You started a few paces above that, so that's great.
Yeah, exactly.
We do have a couple of fan questions.
What are your thoughts with so many players in the PWHL being injured right now? Do you think there are any like hidden gems that might, step up and shine?
Yeah, I'm honestly really excited, and already since break, I think we've seen these players pop. Players who were right there to make their Olympic teams and didn't get to go. Like, I can't imagine the fires lit under their asses right now. We saw Jessie Compher score an awesome goal last night.
I love Jessie so much.
I love
Just
Jessie
have to say
Compher.
that.
I'm in the Jessie Compher fan club. I love her TikTok. I love her family.
Yes.
I love her play on the ice. I love her outfits. I love everything about Jessie Compher, and I love the way she played against Montreal last night too. Even though they didn't get the win in the end, that was a crazy ass shootout. Abby Rock had a disgusting goal in the shootout last night.
She is becoming like one of my favorite people.
She is like one of my favorite people, honestly. She is a walking meme. She is so much fun. She is so talented. She doesn't let anything like on the ice, obviously. She'll let you know what she'll
feeling.
let you know. Nothing really gets
Yeah.
under her skin, though. Like, you couldn't really get under Abby's skin. Like, you could say anything to her. She'll say anything back. Like, she is such a character, and she is such a talented hockey player. I think she's someone that's going to be great in the second half of the season. Yeah, those are kind of my two circled ones that I'm very excited to see. I'm excited to see. I know Daryl Watts was kind of injured. I feel like she kind of has a chip on her shoulder post Olympics too. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of the Canadian players will have kind of a chip on their shoulders. I picked Montreal to win
Ready
the
to
Walter
go.
Cup at the beginning of the season. And low-key, I'm feeling very good about that right now because Pooh is so pissed off, and that is the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah,
Really
I don't
though.
want to go up against Pooh when she's
I don't
angry.
want pissed off Pooh. When I had to interview
No.
Pooh and I worked at TSN and I could tell that she was pissed off, we always say it on the podcast, we're like, oh no, it's her Pooh face. And she's like, when she comes over to you and looking like that, I'm like, so what's up? I don't know. Whatever you want to talk about, we can.
You want to say that line about getting pucks in the back of the net? Real quick?
Just real quick. Where do you want to put the pucks? In deep. Thank you. Have a good period.
I'm just going to go over there.
All right, final question from our fans. Can we get some inside scoop on the PWHL draft? What does their draft ranking look like right now? Any surprises? Any little tidbits you can drop? Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pull out a name right now, and I have to scroll on my phone for it, and I feel kind of terrible about that. But I think everybody's well aware of Layla Edwards, of Caroline Harvey, of Kristen Sims, of Lacey Eden. Like, these are all players who've won championships with USA, and like, they're amazing players, and I cannot wait to see them in the league. Kaylin LaMarche is someone that Emma Buckles just highlighted on Jock's Next Gen. We love Buckles. She's from Sudbury, Ontario, standout junior at Quinnipiac University. So she's not a prospect right now, but she just had this insane goal for Quinnipiac back on February 7th. So she had a big celly after we posted it. So cool to see some Canadian prospects as well. I don't know anything about the draft. Let me be so real with you guys. I don't know where it is this year. I don't know what day it's on. I don't know what the draft order is going to be based on, like, how many expansion teams there are, if there's expansion teams, if there's 2 or if there's 4, what the order ends up being. Like, the draft to me is like,
That's how I feel about a trade deadline. I'm like, I'm going to have to defer to Sarah for that because I don't know anything.
I know. And what about PWHL trade deadline? Is that what you mean right now?
Yeah, just either of them, honestly.
I know.
Either.
The boys, I'm like, I don't even know what's going on there. I'm a Leafs fan, so I've just kind of checked out of the boys league for the year.
No, totally.
I'm so sorry.
On that, I'm good on that. No, thank you.
Either trade deadline, NHL, PWHL. I'm like, I don't know what's
trade deadline. What is going to happen? That's on March 30th, my birthday this year. Hopefully nothing too traumatizing happens.
God.
But like,
could be so bad.
It's going to, like, who is a seller? Who is a buyer in the PWHL? Who is, like, the fact that only 4 teams are going to make the playoffs is honestly a little bit cruel and unusual to me. Like, I kind of would have, I wouldn't have minded to see, like, a play-in game for, even if you go top 5 teams and you do a play-in game for the first round between 4 and 5 or something to that effect. I don't know, but it's just, like, so tragic to me. And what is with the Vancouver and Seattle teams? Like, everyone was like, just hand them the Walter Cup, pass it over, shine it off Minnesota, and ship it out west.
So too.
Everybody thought so. Those rosters are awesome, but there's definitely something to be said about camaraderie and getting to know one another and figuring out your systems. And if you think about it, like, these teams have only played, Vancouver's played 17, Seattle's played 15. Like, there's just been so many gaps and breaks, and that Sarah Nurse injury was hard. Now Seattle's without Hillary Knight, so there's definitely been reasons why this has happened, but I think it's like to me, it gave me a little bit more when I was looking at these teams last summer, I was like everybody else. I was like, oh my God, they're going to wax everyone.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody outside was saying too. And I think everybody within the PWHL was like, my gosh, I hope that doesn't happen because that would be really unfortunate. Pretty good the way it's all worked out, I think. I'd like to see them like get to be both teams figure themselves out a little bit more and become a little bit more cohesive. It's given me more confidence that like whether it's no teams next year, 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams, like whatever it is, I think we know that they're going to be competitive, and I don't think we have to worry about super teams. Although, who the hell knows what these college kids are going to bring? Because Layla Edwards might just be a super team herself. Caroline Harvey might be a personal super team. Like, who knows?
Yeah, 100%. Like, there are so many incredibly skilled players coming up, and that I also think will be great on the ice, but great in the locker room. Like, I think the personalities are there.
They're so fun.
It's going to be fun.
The fact that KK did a TikTok dance with Tessa and I, like 2 of the least cool TikTok dancers on the planet. Probably. It was the nicest thing ever. She's such a good person. She's such a cool personality. And yeah, I'm really excited I'm excited about all the prospects coming in, but Layla and KK bring a level of stardom that I don't know we've seen yet in the PWHL. So I'm very excited about that. Like Caitlin Clark level of cloud, I would say, coming in.
I'm pumped to see it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys. That was really fun. I really enjoyed it. It was a good chat.
You're fantastic. Keep doing everything that you're doing. I feel like a fangirl. I can't believe I'm talking to you.
No, I appreciate you guys.
So
this
honored.
is awesome. Appreciate you all very much.
Of
Thank
course.
you for listening.
Have a great day. Good luck on your next interview.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your days.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Stats and Slapshots. If you're craving more hockey content from us before next week's drop, have no fear. We're 2 chronically online hockey nerds.
Check out our Substack, social media channels, and support links below. If you're interested in sponsorship or collaboration, feel free to reach out at sassandslapshots.com.
Special shout out to our editor, Joe Bogomil, and our graphic designer, Corey Tyler.
We appreciate all of the support and can't wait to chat with you next week. Bye.
Bye.
In business, there's no room for guesswork. Every shipment matters. Every deadline counts. When you're trying to keep operations running smoothly, the last thing you need is uncertainty. That's why reliability is at the core of USPS Ground Advantage. From the moment your package is first scanned in, it moves through a secure nationwide network, aiding in a timely and accurate delivery. You get near real-time tracking so you can keep up with your shipments. And with affordable upfront pricing, there are no hidden fees or surprise surcharges to throw off your cost sheets. It all adds up to predictable deliveries you can depend on. Because knowing your logistics are handled lets you focus on everything else: your customers, your team, and the future you're building. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to start shipping with confidence. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.